Greetings, dear hearts, to another dictation on Healing Aspirations of our YouTube site. And the topic that we're going to be talking with you about is the achieving of healing and salvation. Actually, they're one and the same thing, actually. That when you're in the ultimate healed state, you have accomplished salvation. And so we're going to be talking about achieving healing, the completion of healing and salvation. And the subtitle to this, the ultimate insight, that's where you're going to wind up with, this ultimate insight. And God spoke to me about this in a single sentence. Now, for those of you who are familiar with our work in the Christian Laity Foundation, you know that God has been talking to me ever since 1998 and giving dictations virtually daily, establishing a healing curriculum. And this ultimate insight, this statement suddenly came to me. Matter of fact, it woke me up at night and I wrote it down. And God said to me, "There be but one truth. There be but one truth. Ye are gods, and ye are loved. You are a beloved God. A beloved God." Notice I have the word "a" in because some people stiffen up over the, "Hey, I'm not God." No, I'm not saying that. Ye are a God, and ye are loved. This is what you're going to recover as the truth about yourself. Now, if I say to you, do you believe right now, this moment, that you're a God and that you're loved? Chances are you would say, "No, I don't feel that. Maybe God said it, but I don't feel it." And you're right in saying that you don't feel it, because even with the disciples who were with Jesus for 3 long years, every single day, could not feel inside themselves the truth of what he was telling them about himself. Because Jesus said to them in Scripture, "Doesn't your Lord tell you that you're gods?" Clear as can be. Doesn't your Lord tell you that you're gods? He was quoting Psalm 82. And yet, when Jesus got arrested, they all fled, telling you that they weren't yet ready to be able to be what they truly were. They fled. And it was only 50 days later when, which we observe as the holiday of Pentecost, 50 days later, when they received the awareness inside of themselves who they were and fell to the ground talking in foreign languages, something that's just impossible for the human mind to do, to know all the languages of the world and to be able to talk in these languages to the crowd of people who were there with them at the time, because Rome had conquered Israel and were counting their numbers of people who were in their possessions. And so they were from all over the world, and they hear these disciples talking in the tongues, in the languages of all of them. They did not achieve that state of mind, of feeling, of knowing the oneness of what that mind is like. And at that point, they went out into the world and they taught, just as Jesus told them they would. "You will remind everyone of what I have said, and you will do all that I have done and even more." They did that. They went out. And that's what this statement is about. Ye are gods. That's the identity of your mind. Ye are gods. And the quality of your mind, ye are loved. Now, you're waiting, actually, to be able to let God bring this awareness to you. We can't conceive of it. Our human mind opposes it. Our human mind gets frightened of that. If I'm a God, what does that mean? What's going to happen to this human self that I am? It's frightening to the human mind, and the human mind will oppose us and block it out. And indeed, the human mind blocks out the awareness in the first place that there is a God, that God has to even show that to you. So you cannot yet act from this. The achievement of healing, the ultimate achievement of healing and of salvation, is the awareness, the ability to live from this insight. There be but one truth. Ye are gods, and ye are love. Now, the issue becomes how to get there. Well, you can't get there by yourself. Jesus himself stated that he couldn't do it. There's a statement, it's the Gospel of John, that Jesus says of himself, "Of myself I know nothing. I go to the Father, who shows me what to do, and I do what the Father shows me." Jesus states in his human mind, in his human condition, he is a know-nothing, meaning he can't help anybody from his own mind, but rather Jesus had to go to the Father to be able to assist him, to be able to see what God wanted him to know and to teach and to give away. Well, if that is for Jesus, guess what that is for us? Yeah. We have to do the same thing. And it's joyful that I tell you this, because I'm telling you, you don't have to put yourself in charge of a healing process and worry about success and failure, and are you doing it right, and maybe God is displeased with you or not happy with you, whatever. All the thoughts of the human mind, which are always critical and displeasing about you, you don't have to deal with that anymore, because now you would be able to know it's God who has to do the process for you. All you need is to hear this sentence, that there is but one truth, nothing else is the truth. Ye are gods, and ye are loved. All your beliefs about yourself, all the negative thoughts and feelings, all your guilt feelings about what you've done in the past, all your aggravations, all your feelings of depression, anxiety, lack of worth, low self-esteem, all false. All the imaginings, the fantasies of a human mind who we indulge as part of denying who we truly are. That we want to be our own God. Well, you can't be your own God and overwhelm God himself and what he created. What God created you is the one truth, and it stays there, and your thoughts don't change that one truth. Ye are a God, and ye are loved. All your thoughts about being unlovable, etc., all of those things are just a fantasy and imagination of your own mind, which cannot stand up against the mind of God. It cannot replace, it cannot change. You don't have the ability to be able to overthrow God's creation of you as a God and lovable. It sits there, it's there. You don't have the power to do away with God and God's creation of you. It just sits there. Ye are a God, and ye are loved. And all the thoughts that you have turn out to be a fantasy, a screenplay, a movie, whatever it is that you want to call it. That's all it is. And it must be shown to you. You can't believe this until it is shown to you. I couldn't believe it until God showed me, took me out of this world, and I saw myself as a spirit being. And I come before God, and I'm at ease. I'm absolutely at ease. You might think, Bob, you showed up before God. I mean, didn't you want to get out of there? I mean, didn't you say to God, very nice meeting you, excuse me, I have an appointment down on earth again? Didn't you do something like that? The answer is no. I was absolutely and totally at peace in the presence of God. I even belonged. I think that's a good word to be able to use, that I belonged. So that this is the crucial thing that is behind all healing and salvation that you're going to get to. You're going to be able to get to God. You're going to be able to say to God, hey, I want this. I like this. I like what you're talking about. I want this. And you will now open the opportunity up. You've given God permission to move on you in a sequence of insights and understandings into the true, marvelous, loving God being that you are. That is going to be coming. It's unfolding. It's guaranteed. It's assuring you that this will happen. And when that's happening, your human mind has to back off. More and more, the divine mind is coming to you. And your human mind is fading in every place that the divine mind has now taken over with you. You catch on to this? There's one truth. One truth. Nothing else counts, no matter what you think. Sorry, forget it. Your mind is off base. It's having a fantasy based on your imagining that you are a human being and you're your own God and you're in charge of life and God's blotted out. That whole mind that's there is going to fade back because you were willing to look at the misery of the human mind and its creations and be able to want that there's something different. Let that hold you for now. Once again, there is but one truth. Ye are a God, ye are gods, and ye are loved. Be nice to be able to turn to God and say, I want to see that. And if you're not ready to do that because it scares you, you don't know what it's like and what, at least you're used to what your human life is like. If it scares you, that's where you start. You want to be able to tell God, I'm scared of this, and can you help me with my fear so that I can get my nerve up even to say, okay, look, take a shot at it with me. That's enough for this lesson.